Okay, so good morning, guys. Good morning, guys. We are just beginning now. Okay, so far what we have discussed. So like actually the stuff what we are doing is introduction to widgets. Okay, so I said that everything is a widget in Flutter, and then stateful and stateless widgets. We'll be using mostly stateless widgets, but not stateful widgets. But it's not that bad to use stateful widget if you are doing a small app. If you are using a big app, this might hurt your performance. But we are yet to see what this is about. And your default apps comes with stateful widget, right? So, but in all our examples, we have used only stateless widget. Okay, so here are the some of the like basic widgets which we have seen, and list view and grid view is like an advanced widget, I can say. But that's okay, still they are basic only. Maybe advanced for those who don't know what is list view and grid view. And I have shared some examples, right, how companies look into this list view and grid view. Okay, so they will have a product and then they will write like multiple list views and multiple grid views and pick one out of them. Okay, so when you have some data available, you can actually write multiple list views and multiple grid views, not only just one. Okay, so that thing I have shared. And then adding images we have seen, app bar and bottom bar we have actually seen yesterday. Material widget, I think you guys are comfortable with material widgets, scaffold, those terminals you might be already comfortable. Is it true, guys? Okay, so when I say why I'm repeating all this stuff in every class is because these are some things which you should be familiar with. Okay, even though you don't know what is the exact meaning of material widget, that is fine, but you should understand that using a material widget actually helps you with adding some basic skeleton and what are the changes that will happen to your app when you use scaffold. Okay, so today I will be discussing about dialogues. Okay, so I will be taking a sample dialogue and will be coding that in the demo, and then like there will be many other dialogues, okay, which you can actually explore all by yourself. Okay, and then after this class, like after dialogues we will actually look into Adobe XD. Okay, how you can use Adobe XD for developing your apps. Okay, so this will be the fun part. So let me enable this word wrap so that you will be able to see everything on the screen. Okay, so after this class, so every day we will meet in the same time, but we will be not running any class. Okay, so we'll take some small break, probably like 1 or 2 days we will take a small break. Like I mean next couple of days we will not have any class, and then we will meet in the same time. For that 1 hour you will actually do some lab. Okay, so taking break is very important, guys. So remember, in your life, if you are learning something continuously, in order to make it more effective, like in order to really understand what you have learned, you have to take some break. Okay, so just imagine you have an exam. Okay, you have an exam and you are reading overnight and going to exam and writing. Okay, so instead of doing like that, do the same thing a week before and take some break and again do it. Okay, so that's how you will actually improve yourself. So without breaks it's very difficult for you to improve. A break might be anything. Okay, just resting at home, watching some movies. Okay, so it's like a treat you give to yourself. Okay, and also like if you remember, I always ask you guys to share even the smallest thing you develop. Okay, like if you are able to install Flutter, share that with me. Like for the first time, if you are able to make the Flutter setup work, share that with me. So why I'm asking you guys is it's important to celebrate. Okay, so let me add it here. Okay, why it is important to celebrate is because when you are actually coding some stuff, right? So when you take your job or when you are developing some stuff, right, like you need to find some sort of inspiration. Okay, often we fail to find some inspiration to do our work. Okay, that's why we always leave things. Okay, so let's explore it later, or okay, like let's do it later kind of thing. Okay, so in order to find inspiration, whenever you achieve some small thing, you have to celebrate. Okay, you have to appreciate yourself. You have to tell yourself that okay, I have did something very good. Okay, even though it's a small thing, if you are learning, that's an achievement. Okay, so it's very important to celebrate. Even if you join some company, they will ask you to celebrate. But if they're not asking you to celebrate for your small achievements, and trust me that that's not the company you should work for. Okay, and so that's how celebration works. So from today, remember that you should always celebrate your smallest achievement. Okay, so big achievements you obviously will celebrate, small achievements also you should celebrate. Okay, so you get it right, why we should celebrate. Okay, so don't, like, if you are writing a hello world program for the first time, don't think like, oh, this is a very small thing. No, no, no. Writing a hello world program itself is a very very huge achievement. Okay, so like in my classes you are actually learning only Flutter. Just imagine you have to learn Flutter, you have to learn Java, you have to learn Python, and you are confused which one to go with. Okay, your journey ends there. You are confused, all 4 years gone. Okay, no, if you write a hello world program in Python, celebrate it. If you write a hello world program in Java, celebrate it. Okay, as long as you understand the concepts. When I say concepts, not fundamentals, guys. Like just the concept. Okay, this is how you should run the program. Okay, that is also a concept. How to debug the program, that is also a concept. How to debug in Python, how to debug in Java. There won't be much differences, but that's okay. Like even the smallest achievement you should always celebrate. It's very important. Okay, and then so let's begin with the coding stuff. So dialogues, right? I'm going to take the demo app. Okay, and I'm going to open the emulator. So whenever I am going to start my coding, like whenever I'm going to write a small program, I will delete everything from main dot file. Why means, like I really want to practice that stuff. Okay, every time I want to write the same thing so that I don't have to refer it in future. Okay, so I will remove everything. So what is the first thing we should write, guys? Yeah, stateless widget. Okay, st stateless widget, my app. And then we have to resolve the errors. Okay, we know that we have to use material dot dot, and then void main run app of my app. So in order to make sure that everything is running fine, what I can do is I'll just add a color over here. So let me run this program. So it's taking time to load. Okay, so it is working. So now I want to make it a material app. Okay, so I'll just click here, wrap with a widget, home, and then I will wrap this inside a scaffold. Okay, and then this will be the body. Okay, so let me add something like app bar. Give me a second, guys. Okay, so now we know that whatever we have written is working. So now the thing what we have to do is we have to add a button and see that, like when I click that button, an alert dialog should appear. Okay, so alert dialogs are, when I say dialog, okay, in programming world, dialog means when you click some button, like for example you went to some app and clicked on some delete button. Okay, so it will show a pop-up, do you really want to delete? So when you will say yes or no, all right, those things are called dialogues. Okay, you can see if you're unaware of some terminologies, what you can do is you can just go to Google. Give me a second. Okay, so you can just go to Google and search for like, if you think like dialogues is a new word, you can just search for dialogues, select images, you'll be able to see number of things. Okay, so you'll understand, okay, this is a dialogue, okay, this is a dialogue, this is a dialogue, this is a dialogue. Okay, so you can see, right? So that's how, like, if you're not having access to like the frameworks, this is how I understand. Okay, so in Python dialog means this, okay, in Java dialog means this, but anyways dialogues are same everywhere. Okay, so see, delete file permanently, delete, yes, these are dialogues. In Windows you will see a lot of these dialogues. Whenever there is an error, you will show them through dialogues. Okay, whenever you need an user acknowledgement, you will show them through dialogues. Okay, so now you understand like, right, what is meant by dialogue. Okay, okay, so what I will do is I will add a child, and then I'll add a button. So on pressed, I will add a function like this. Okay, this is how you add function in Dart. Okay, and then I will add a child, text of click here. Okay, so a button is shown here. What I will do is I will remove this color, I don't want this. I will move everything to center. Okay, so now I have a button which is actually clickable. If I don't have this, if I comment this on press, okay, it's not clickable, and also like it is showing an error, it's a required parameter. Okay, which means that without on press, like, okay, if I make it null, I can do this. Okay, null, it is not clickable. If I if I add this brackets, it makes it clickable. Okay, so now it's clickable. Now I have to show a alert dialog. Okay, so like the example what we are going to pick is alert dialog. So in order to know what are the various types of dialogues we have, we can just type dialog, and then you will get so much stuff. Okay, so about dialog, simple dialog, okay, something is saying show dialog. Okay, so dialog theme, I'm not sure what does it mean. So we are the stuff what we are going to use, alert dialog. Okay, alert dialog, and we'll see what it takes. So alert dialog takes title. Okay, title which is of text type, like widget. So which means that I can give anything literally, but our common sense says that give a text over there. Okay, you can add probably like you might want to add some smileys over there. You can actually try that. Okay, hello from alert. So I have added a button, and then when on press is done, I have given alert dialog. So when I run this, it doesn't run actually. Okay, so it doesn't run. Nothing is being shown, which means that this is not the way we should do it. Okay, so right, so we are not assigning alert dialog to anything. Okay, we are not assigning alert dialog to child, we are just asking alert dialog off, but it's not working, right? So there must be something else what we have to do. Okay, so the thing we should do is, let's go to the definition and see that what the definition says. Okay, so you can see that something is written over here. Show dialog which actually displays the dialog returns its results. Okay, so in order to show alert dialog, we have to use something else. Okay, we have to call some from something else. Okay, so alert dialog is something which is shown here. They also say that typically used in conjunction with show dialog. Okay, so let's try what is this. So this is a function. So if you scroll up, okay, so these are classes. Okay, so this is a class again. Okay, so let me, so in each file we'll have classes as well as functions. Okay, sorry, in alert dialog I can go to show dialog. See, one thing important here is, if we figure out a way to do it, it's good to follow the same thing later also. Okay, rather than exploring what are other ways of doing it. Okay, so if there are 10 ways of doing things, don't worry about learning those 10 ways of doing those things. If you know one way of doing it, that is fine. Okay, because each and every guy will have their own way of achieving things. Okay, so rather than trying to learn 10 ways of doing things, if you know one way of doing thing, close that there and move to the next chapter. Okay, obviously when you are working in teams, you will find out the other ways of doing things. Okay, how other guys have done by going through that code. Okay, so I'm going to use show dialog. So show dialog is a, like, this kind of syntax is called generic syntax. You, like in OOPS concepts you might have heard, right? Generic like templates. Okay, so whatever type we pass here, it will work like that. So I'm going to use this show dialog. How I could use it is, like, let me wrap this inside a widget again. So I'm not actually wrapping this inside the widget, but I'm going to write it. Okay, so I'm going to do show dialog. Okay, and then let's see, it requires a context. Okay, context null. So context takes build context. Okay, so build context I can give like this. Okay, give me a second. Sorry, like this is not how I should give it. Okay, context means, let me, like, I can simply pass context. Okay, so, and then if I go to this, like, it is accepting as a child, right? But I should not be passing this as child. If I go through this function, you can see that child is deprecated. Okay, so instead we will be using the builder. Okay, so the document says that use the builder rather than child. So like when someone says it is going to be deprecated, which means that in future versions it will be removed. Okay, so version 2.3 they are going to actually remove it. So this is where you have to be careful. Okay, so we should not use deprecated functions, but like it depends on the framework. Like if framework has very slow updates, that's okay. If the framework is having very frequent updates, we should try to use them, or if you are already using it, you have to migrate. But when you are actually using it and at that point of time deprecated is not mentioned, and then you will not know, like even if you do some updates, you will not know that it is deprecated. It is going to be deprecated only after once it is deprecated, your program will fail and you will go through documentation and fix it. Okay, so I'm going to use builder. So let me comment this code. So builder, like when I just type a builder, it has showed me some recommendations. Okay, so I can use either of this. If I'm going to return only one statement, I can use this type of syntax. If I'm going to return multiple statements, this is something I could use. Okay, this is something I should use. But like either is fine. So and I'm going to call alert dialog here. Okay, so if I hover my mouse, it actually expects a return type of widget. So I'm going to return this. Okay, so I don't have to give this. So return statement ends with a colon. Okay, so now we are almost there. Let me delete this, like let me leave this code and then rerun the program. So even now when a button is clicked, nothing is working. Okay, so in order to debug this, what I will do is I will just write print 1 2 3. Okay, okay, so I will open the debug console. So this is how you debug, guys. So print, like you might have heard that print is a very basic statement, right? But most of the developers use this for debugging purposes. Not only this, you'll have some debugging tools also. So since I am a lazy guy, I use this print and I will see whether the code is actually being reached this point or not. Okay, so when I click this button, so some error appeared. Okay, let me clear everything. Okay, so it throws some error. I'm just check, like I know what is the fix actually. I'm just going through this error whether it makes any sense or not. Okay, but I really want to see this print 1 2 3 message, but actually it's not showing. So it's not showing, that's okay. Okay, what this message is actually saying is that either use a material app at the root of your application to include them automatically, or add a localization widget with a material localizations delegate. Okay, so what practically it is saying is that this is not how we should use it. Okay, so even though the code doesn't have any errors, it has got some hierarchical issues. Okay, so the way you could fix this is move everything separately. Okay, so this is where you actually split the code. So for example, what I could do is I will move this part of code to a separate function. Okay, so let me write a function, show a And then like since this show dialog needs a context, I am going to pass context, and I'm just going to copy paste this code. Okay, and then I'm going to call this. See, I'm using a made up name. Show a dialog is a made up name, not show dialog. Show dialog is the function we got from Flutter framework. Show a dialog is a made up name. Okay, made up name means I came up with this name. Okay, so I can actually add show dialog over here, and then so when this kind of error appears, you can just hover the mouse here and you can see there is something missing. If I pick problem, it will say some more information. Okay, that's okay. Since I know that I need to pass context, I'll just pass the context. So from where we are getting the context, we are getting from the build context. Okay, see, now right now you might be thinking why I have to, like, passing a context doesn't make sense. What is this context? Okay, see, like you will understand this. Like once you actually write some apps, you will actually understand why we are actually passing something like this. Okay, so right now like since we are beginning with Flutter, it doesn't matter much. Okay, I actually have passed this as a function. Let's see if this works now. This still doesn't work. Okay, if let me open the terminal and see if it shows something, if the output makes some more sense. Okay, so nothing, still the same error, but like compared to previous errors, the number of errors have actually reduced. Okay, so still it is speaking about hierarchical issues only. Okay, I'm not sure, leave this. Okay, still it is speaking about hierarchical issues only. So for that, what you can do is you can actually move this button into a different class. Okay, so how I can move this widget to a different class is by creating another stateless widget. So, okay, what I can do is I can just go here, I can just press st stateless widget my button. Okay, so I have added a button here. So instead of returning container, I am going to actually copy paste this code. Okay, so now if I call my button from here, it will actually load the same button. So in order to see that it is really calling, I will add some 1 2 3 over here. So see, sometime back I have used print for debugging. Now I actually changed some text to see whether it is actually working or not. So adding 1 2 3 here or adding 1 2 3 here, these things are part of debugging skills. Okay, as you work for more time, whenever you face some issue, when you try to resolve them all by yourself, that is where you are actually improving your debugging skills. Not only programming, like when you are working on your computer and you found some issue, okay, rather than formatting it and reinstalling, that's not part of debugging skills. Okay, fixing the actual issue, uninstalling the actual software, okay, those things are part of debugging skills. Okay, if you are able to debug them nicely, you will be able to debug them nicely here also. And if you are able to debug your coding, you will be able to debug your OS issues also. Okay, so let's see what will happen now. Okay, let me go to terminal, debug console. Okay, so let me reload everything so that everything will be clear, and then let me click here. So now you can see that the alert dialog has appeared. Okay, so clear guys, like I think I understand that this type of calling this type of function is the first time, and fixing the hierarchical issues is first time for you guys. That's why I have kept this example like as a last part of this class. Okay, and anyways, showing alert dialogs is the important stuff, right? Okay, so you can see it is working fine. you can see even the print statement is being called. Okay, so like you can actually explore multiple options here if you want. So if you want to add some actions, so what actions takes list of widgets. Okay, I can actually add a button. Okay, and then child text of. Okay, let's see what will happen now. You can see that OK button has come. Okay, so if I click this OK button, nothing is happening. If I just click on the other part of the screen, it has gone away. In order to make OK to work, we have to add something over here. Okay, so shall we move to next topic, guys? I think if you are confused about this example, you can actually view the video and get things clarified all by yourself. Okay, so okay, I'll stop this. Okay, no need to stop this, we'll leave it here. Okay, and the next thing what we wanted to look is Adobe XD. Okay, so after looking at Adobe XD, one thing I really want to show you guys is about navigation. Okay, so how to move to new page and come back to old page. We'll see, like if we are able to cover that in this class, we'll cover it, or we'll do that in the next class also. I will add it here. So let's not add it here. So like whatever we have covered so far is very much fine for you to start with. I will add into coverage. So somewhere over here we will cover navigation, navigating through pages. Okay, so this is something we will cover. Shall we move this to second part, or we will do it in the first part itself? Okay, first part will. Okay, so mixed response, that's okay. Like let's see how we'll go with Adobe XD, and then we'll take a decision. Okay, that's fine. So anyways, navigating through pages is like it is easy to begin with. At the same time, it's complicated to extend yourself. Okay, so I will move this to part 2. And then if you really want to explore this, there is a code actually available. Okay, so if you can see it, navigation dot, here we actually have a code, page 1, page 2. Okay, so when somebody clicks on the page 1, it will go to page 2, and if somebody clicks go back, it will go to page 1. So you can actually integrate this along with your examples. Okay, so since like I guess I'm encouraging you guys to be a self-learners, right? I think you can figure it out, and you can actually include that into your apps also. Okay, but anyways, we'll try to cover this part in the part 2. Okay, but if you want to include that into your projects, this is some example which you can go through. Okay, so about Adobe XD, so okay, give me a minute, guys. Okay, so I'm back. Okay, so Adobe XD is a third-party tool. Okay, it's not anywhere related to Flutter. First of all, Adobe XD is not anywhere related to Flutter. Adobe XD is developed by a company called Adobe. Okay, so Adobe means Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Reader. Okay, so they have very popular tools. If you remember Flash players, okay, in your early stages of your like learning computer, you might have come across Flash Player. Some websites still ask you to enable Flash Player. Okay, so actually, like in order to get rid of Flash Player, HTML5 is something the web community has come up with. Okay, so if you're using HTML5, you don't have to go with Flash Player. Okay, so most of the features that come with Flash Player are included with HTML5. Okay, so Flash Player is something developed by Adobe. Okay, so Adobe is a very popular company when it comes to designing part. So far what you did was becoming a developer. Okay, so actually in real world, okay, so in IT companies, where like if you go with big companies, so each and every role will be segregated. So if you are a developer, you are encouraged to write only code. Okay, if you are a designer, you are encouraged only to design stuff. Okay, so for example, if you take a scenario where, okay, for example, you join some startup, okay, and where user interface is really critical, that is when they will not encourage a developer to design user interfaces. Okay, in same way, you join some small company, like not small company, like any given company where your project doesn't have much importance on user interfaces, that is where developers were encouraged to code. Okay, so often these roles are actually interchanged. Now you know, right, who is a developer, who is a designer. Okay, you guys are not a designers. Okay, you are developers. It's okay if your user interfaces are not that great, and Flutter actually bridges a gap between that. Okay, by using material designs, where they are by default giving the styles. If you are actually doing website development, if you change something, other things also will change, where you will often get frustrated. Okay, so because being a developer, you know that how delicate user interfaces are. If you change something in your CSS, you'll break something. Okay, if you have really explored web development by now, you might have known the pain. Okay, so when it comes to Adobe XD, this Adobe XD will actually help you to design some prototypes. Okay, prototypes means they are not related to code. Okay, they are related to prototypes. Prototypes means you have something in your imagination and you really want to put that on pen, like put that on the paper. Okay, you will take a book, you will actually develop, like write some images, app bar, container, this is how my app should look like. Though these things are done during the initial phases of your app development, and Adobe XD is something that helps you to do that in computer rather than doing that on some paper. Okay, you can actually depend on other tools also, but Adobe XD is coming with some other features also, like code generation. Okay, so what I can do is, for example, like if you go to my projects, so UI challenges, so you can see that I have developed this. How I have developed this is, the design idea is not mine. Design idea is someone else. They have actually open sourced their design idea. So they have actually shared these designs. Okay, and then I have taken this, a part of this design, as a challenge, and then developed this. In same way, this is also a design given by someone else. Okay, so I have taken this design and then actually developed a user interface for this app. So you can actually search for more design, like when you are actually if you want to take more UI challenges, you can just go through these sites like XD Guru or something else, and then you can actually get some ideas. So these are the ideas. Okay, you can actually you will be actually doing this as part of your UI challenges. Okay, you might be thinking, oh, this is so complicated. No, this is not complicated, this is easy only. Okay, because now you know like how to figure out the code and all those things. When you actually start developing this stuff, that you will understand how easy it is to do. Okay, even how to bring these color choices, everything we'll learn. Okay, and most of these shared projects, they will be actually sharing an Adobe XD files. Okay, so XD app template. Okay, so when you download this, you'll be actually downloading an Adobe XD file. Okay, so when you open this Adobe XD file, this is something how it will load. Okay, so you can see there is, okay, they have given some screen and everything is selectable. Okay, some things might not be selectable if they are using actually images, so you can make it big like this. And then, so whatever they have shown here, we will think about how to do this in Flutter, and then we'll do it. For example, if you take this search flights, this is a text widget. Okay, if you take this one, looks like there is a container that has a text widget. Okay, looks like it's a container which has a row and then a container with some icon and then another widget with text. Okay, if you take this one, this looks like a text field, this part looks like text field, and then there is a container, like there is a container with some column of icons and then a text field. Okay, so this is how we break down our UI. Okay, so by looking at prototypes, see, irrespective of what app you are designing, having this kind of textbooks makes your app look much better. Okay, so if you look at this, this is a button with some text child widget. Again, if you take this is a container, this is a row of widgets, this is a column of widgets. Guys, are you able to get it? Okay, so you look at a prototype and think about this stuff. Okay, so if you take this part, this is a container or probably a card that has a column of widgets or row of widgets. Okay, so by thinking about all these points, you will be able to develop these UIs. Okay, so you can see that they have actually cut a container like this. Okay, this is called like clip paths. Okay, so I actually have these things covered. Like there are, like I will share these videos. There, like videos are already there in my channel. These are part of clip paths, like what we do in some animation. Okay, like wave animation I showed, right? In wave animation, you are actually clipping that path. In same way, they are actually clipping the container. Okay, adding some dots. Okay, so all these things we can actually do. Okay, probably we won't be doing this much complicated stuff initially. You'll be slowly doing it. Okay, so even if you are implementing this part, you don't have to bother about swipe part of it. Okay, you can actually just implement this part and leave it. Later, when you actually learn few more things, you can actually develop those stuff. Okay, so in Adobe XD you can actually view prototypes. Okay, apart from viewing prototypes, what you can do is there is something like plugins. Okay, so Adobe XD has given some sort of plugin, XD to Flutter plugin. So you can actually go to menu and find out how you can actually install plugins. So plugins, discover plugins, and then you can actually download something like XD to Flutter. So this plugin is still in alpha phase, guys. Okay, because I have already installed, it didn't show, but it will show. Okay, you have to install the right plugin because there might be plugins with duplicate names also. This plugin is directly from Adobe. So when it comes to plugins, I explained an example, right? You will have a router, and if you don't have enough wavelength, in order to use that internet in separate room, you have to use some extension, right? if your router is of Netgear company, for example, your extension can be D-Link. Okay, it doesn't have to be from same company. Similarly, these plugins doesn't have to be from same company, but plugins from that same company, like plugins from the company who designed that, who developed that tool, will have some good features, like good or standard features. Okay, standard, like they will have a very standard things. This is where brands comes into picture. If you find a plugin which is developed by Apple, you can blindly download it. If a plugin is developed by Google, blindly download it. And for example, if a plugin is developed by an individual developer, you can actually download it to encourage that developer. Okay, if you're downloading a plugin from a company, you are actually supporting that company. Okay, and if you're actually downloading a plugin from an individual developer, you're actually supporting that individual developer. So because tomorrow also you learn some stuff, you might come up with some plugin where you want those things to be downloaded, right? If everybody goes with brand, individual developers will not be encouraged, right? So that's how you make your choices. Okay, you will think like, okay, let me encourage an individual developer now. Okay, let me encourage, like, if you don't have a way to go with some if there is no proper reason to go with the branded item, you go with encouraging the individual developers. That's where you encourage the startups also. Okay, tomorrow you might be launching your own startup. Okay, if everybody depends on brands, you will not get that kind of push. Okay, so this is the kind of mindset you need to have. Okay, so since you guys are from IT companies, if you all imagine all guys are using Google products only, that is where Microsoft people will lose their jobs. Instead, if you are using Apple Android phone, use Microsoft apps on top of it. Okay, not everything, but some apps. Okay, and sometimes encourage individual developers also. Okay, that's how we should think. Being a programmer, we have to keep these kind of things in mind, so that we can actually expand the jobs market also. Okay, just by sitting at home making small choices like this, you can actually expand the job market also. Okay, you are actually going to make products better also. Okay, clear guys? Okay, so in this case we don't have much option other than going with XD to Flutter, which is given by Adobe. Okay, and then once you have this Adobe XD, what you can do is you can actually take this. See, you know that this is a set of widgets, right? This is not a single widget. If you are lazy enough, what you can do is you can just go here, and then I think you can actually mark for export. Okay, so what happened? Sorry. Okay, so like I will leave this to figure out yourself how to export this individual widget, because I have a video which I have done like probably few months back. You can follow that. The important thing I'll show is, like, I can just click on this export all widgets, and then what I will do is I'll create a folder here. Adobe XD, and then select folder. Okay, so I'll click on continue and see what will happen. Okay, you can see that some file has been generated, lib file. Okay, so let me open that in Visual Studio.code. See, I'm using Visual Studio Code to explore all these files at a single time, rather than opening each file in individually in Notepad. I'm using an IDE to explore these files. Not only these code files, any files you can explore it like this. Okay, you can see that lots of code is generated, right? You can actually use them directly into your projects. But since the product is still in alpha phase, which I think alpha or beta phase. Okay, alpha and beta phase are like they are actually giving product to the customers, but still not for production use. Okay, so you can see the container code has generated. Okay, you can actually run this app, and then like you can actually copy all this code or part of the code and actually see which code means what. Okay, for example, in this protocol I have something called search phrase, right? Like let me search this text. Actually I use Visual Studio Code to search text also. How I will search is I will go view search. Okay, like if I'm having 10 files and I want to search text, this is something I will use rather than searching individual file. I'll just click search text, and you can see that so they have added a text widget like this, and this is the style they have used for the text. If I use the same, like let me copy paste this. I have the sample app running, right? Okay, if I want some text to look like that, I will just, okay, let me copy only the style part. Okay, so I'm going to add style. Okay, so let me change the color to actually see it. Okay, it has changed, but let me change color. So these are the other ways of giving colors, guys. Okay, don't bother much about it for now. Okay, you can see the color got changed. So we are actually getting the same style from here. Okay, so now by using Adobe XD, you can actually generate code. You can actually generate this part of code only, but right now I am like I actually have forgot. Okay, so this is how you could use Adobe XD for code generation. So one of the things what I have done previously is this. So for example, I have some idea in my mind, so I will just develop a user interface like this. Okay, so welcome to my app, blah blah blah. I will just drag drop, okay, and then develop all this stuff, and I will actually export the code using XD to Flutter, and then use that code wherever I want. Okay, so like since as I said, I will be using only the button code. If I want button in this shape, I will be generating, I will go to this code, and then I'll just copy paste that code. Okay, so that's how you could use Flutter XD to support your mobile app development. Is it clear, guys? Okay, so it's very exciting, right? How you could use Adobe XD along with your Flutter development. Okay, like so that's okay. And one more thing you have to always remember is like these kind of tools, right? There will be so many tools. You might be thinking, if I have drag and drop feature for Flutter, that will be good, blah 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 blah. Being a developer, you should always code. Okay, you can use these kind of tools for prototyping, that's it. Okay, but not for everything. Like if you find some tool where drag and drop is supported with Flutter, just explore it once, but don't try to use them for your mainstream development. Okay, that's not a way a developer should act. Okay, so this is fine. Okay, this is fine if you want to use part of it, like sometimes we feel lazy, right, exploring the framework and everything. this is actually something you should do. But again, you must be clever enough to see whether this is the actual way I should do it or not. For example, you can see that they have actually used transform.translate. Okay, this might not give the exact output what you want. Okay, stack is good to use. Okay, transform.translate, like I'm not exactly sure what it is. Okay, so they're actually transferring everything ditto. Okay, we don't want that. We want our code to be readable. Okay, offset 0.0, 0.5, you might not know what exactly it is this. Okay, but when you come to your container width, height, that makes sense. So decoration is something you can actually use. Okay, so if you are going to Flutter documentation and find that okay, it is very difficult to understand, that is where you can actually use Adobe XD to understand how to use these parameters, how to use box shadows. Okay, all these things you can actually figure out all by yourself. Okay, so it's how you use these tools effectively, like to learn. Okay, to learn how, like, while because you guys are learning, you have to keep 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 in mind that okay, I can use this tool to figure it out what it is. Okay, uh, something like that. Okay, so I think we'll end our class here today, guys. So don't leave yet. Okay, so in the next part, what we wanted to do is some projects, right? So for now we have actually finished all our basic stuff. Okay, so there are number of things you can actually explore. Okay, so you can actually explore what is card, what is custom app bar, custom bottom bar. Okay, so number of things you can actually explore. Okay, so I guys, like, I want you guys to take a break for 2 days. Okay, so don't worry anything about Flutter, don't worry about opening the IDEs. Okay, if you want, just practice today. Okay, practice today and then take 2 days break and then come back again. I will share the meeting invite. We'll meet during the same time, 8:30 to 9:30, and then I will be available for you guys in the call, and I'll be actually clarifying all your doubts. I'll make myself available for you. Okay, and then we will decide what is the next course of action. Okay, next course of action means what projects we want to do. Okay, for maybe next 1 week, leave these 2 days. After that, 1 week or 3 days or 4 days, we will actually have some target. Okay, we will actually put some target ourselves, and then we will try to achieve the target. We will split into teams and then we will try to achieve targets. We will split into teams. At the same time, everybody will develop things individually only. Okay, we'll be not using GitHub or Bitbucket, something like that. Everybody will have the code locally. Okay, you guys will interact yourself, share what you are developing yourself between your teams, and then along with others also. Okay, so that will be very interesting. Like, you have to remember that you should work as teams only. Okay, being an individual developer is still fine. Okay, so but if you are going to join some company, you have to learn how to work as teams. Okay, and so if two guys are working on the same project, how it works is each guys will divide work between them, and once they develop their work, they actually have to integrate also. But we are actually not going to integrate stuff now. Okay, everybody will have their own versions, and you will find out how each guy is coming up with their own code. Okay, so enjoy this break for next 2 days. Today just follow whatever I have shared, right? So just for today, practice whatever I have shown. Like, the only thing what I have shown is alert dialogues and Adobe XD. Adobe XD, don't worry about it much. Alert dialogues, just practice it. Try to experiment something today. Okay, there is no challenge today. Just try to do some alert dialogue and then leave it. Take a good break. Okay, don't think about Flutter at all. Okay, try to watch some movies, and then like try to engage yourself into your personal life. Okay, anyways you'll have college, right? So try to catch up with your college stuff for these 2 days, and then we'll start. Okay, thanks so much guys. Okay, so we'll meet again.